What up, everybody? Welcome to Bourbon Buzzed and Ballin', and it's time to rate that shit. We're at Kolby's bar. We got Rabbit Hole.
We got Rabbit Hole.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, basically Rabbit Hole, they've got 4 bourbons in their series. Now they do have some Founders Edition that are kind of like unicorns, but their main 4 bourbons, they've got a Kentucky Straight, they've got a High Rye, they got a Full Rye, and then they've got a finished in sherry cask. So over the next 4 weeks, we're gonna do each one of them. So we're gonna start with their Kentucky Straight small batch, and all of their batches are no more than 15 barrels. So they're all pretty small batches. But once you give our rating system, and then I'll tell a little bit more about Rabbit Hole.
All right. Well, if you're watching us, you can see behind me. Well, it kind of scrolls back and forth. I forgot we got new technology now. So.
Slideshow.
Anyway,
we're high tech.
That's right.
There it is.
So there's ours. If you're watching it, you see our rating system 1 through 4. We rate bourbons on a scale of 1. We call that brown bag. We don't give out too many brown bags, but obviously there's a few shitty bourbons out there.
Yes.
Number 2
If
for
we give
us,
it a brown bag, don't buy it.
Yeah, don't buy it.
Don't waste your money.
Absolutely. Number 2 for us is a mixer. That's probably your standard daily drinker or whatever it is you like to drink in your favorite mixed drink. Mm-hmm. Number 3, on the rocks, getting a little bit better. Might be high in proof, so you want to dilute it a little bit. And then last but not least, the tried and true, my favorite way to drink bourbon, that's neat in a Glencairn. Both of us prefer to drink our bourbons neat from the get-go. That way you get a good understanding of that whole flavor profile before you start diluting it or doing it. And the worst thing you can ever have is a $60 bottle of bourbon that your guest throws Coke on it. You're like,
right.
Watching from a distance.
Right, yeah.
Don't put Coke in there.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's our rating system. And like I mentioned, we're fixing to run through the Rabbit Hole series. Now, Rabbit Hole is a distillery in Louisville, Kentucky, which we didn't get to go visit because we were in Louisville on a Sunday and they were closed. But it's definitely one I want to go back and go visit. Because it's a well thought of bourbon and wins a lot of awards, so it's definitely a good bourbon. So this particular one that we're going to do tonight, like I mentioned, it's just their Kentucky Straight bourbon small batch, and it's a $60 bottle of bourbon, 95 proof, and it's 70% corn, 10% wheat, 10% honey malted barley.
Okay.
And 10% malted barley. So it's actually a 4-grain bourbon. So hopefully a little bit more complexity in there to it. They don't claim an age. They say they age it to maturity. So I'm going to assume they age it 4 or 5 years.
I guess.
So when they feel like it's ready to be bottled.
Release it.
Right. So now your aromas on this one, you're supposed to get spice, honey, and apples. That almost smelled like maple syrup.
Yeah, I get a like a sweet apple flavor.
Yeah.
I definitely hits me up front with kind of a maple apple, caramel type smell.
Now as far as the palate, you're supposed to get orange, honey, mint, and toasted grain. And then a little vanilla and custard on the finish. And this is one of my son's absolute favorites.
Vanilla, grainy. I get the grainy. I get a toasted. Yeah, I get like a little char, a little toasted grain, vanilla spice. It's definitely pleasing. Pleasing flavor. A little hug up front.
A little bit.
Little hug up front that dissipates.
There are a lot of each sip. You get a little different flavor to it. It's nice complexity. Got some good legs on the glass.
Finish is smooth.
Color. It's about what you expect out of about a 4 or 5 year bourbon.
Grainy. Good flavor.
Yeah.
Good flavor. It's a delightful bourbon. I liked it. Didn't knock my socks off.
That's because you've been drinking that shit all night.
Yeah, I don't know if my taste buds are. I hate to call I.W. Harper shit too.
Well,
man,
just
but-
that particular one.
Yeah, because I love a Harper, man. I like I.W. Harper. I just don't like the wine barrels.
I like that. That's good. I'm trying to decide. I've been drinking that Statesman all night.
Well, I'm on a dead 3 for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a solid 3. It's a good bourbon. It's got really good. It's got good flavor, good color. It finishes really smooth, but yet I get a little peppery, a little hug on the way down. I
See,
like
I'm not really getting that.
You're not getting
pepper, which I think we will next week when we do that high rye,
Oh yeah.
because I think it's gonna start out a little bit sweeter and finish peppery next
And
week.
you know what else I get? I get that mash. Can you taste that? I can taste that mash like you're drinking straight from the after the fermenting process where you get to taste some of that mash.
I like it. I think it would be a 4 for me.
You're gonna give that a 4.
I think so.
I see you. A 4, huh?
That's good bourbon, and
Yes,
it's complex. It's got a lot of different things going on. And, like I said, when I first smelled it, it almost made me feel like I had a stack of pancakes with some maple syrup in front of me. And then you start drinking it, and
I'm a waffle guy, so maybe that's why.
I am too, actually. But
So what is this? A $50 bottle?
60.
60.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, no, it's a pretty bottle too. I mean,
Yeah, the whole
I've always
collection,
liked
yeah.
Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, the whole collection looks good. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to do it was I wanted the whole set in my collection.
They are good looking bottles.
And they distinguish, the bottles are the same, but then they distinguish by the color of the label.
Yeah.
So you got the green for the rye, you've got the blue for the high rye, you got the red label for the sherry. So the marketing, I think, is real good.
And how long have they been in business?
I did not I never saw that when I was doing my research. I didn't really look for that,
Right.
but it didn't pop up.
Because I've never seen like a rabbit hole 10-year, but they don't give years.
Well, now the Founder Series, I think I put some notes on the Founder Series. And I think they've got some Founder Series that are like 15 and 6. Yeah, they've got a 16-year-old that's finished in French oak barrels. They've got a 15-year-old that's finished in Japanese oak barrels. I've never seen any of the Founder Series because it's actually kind of a shorter, fatter bottle. But I mean, they've got one that's called a Nevelier, and it's basically their straight bourbon that's been finished 16 years and then finished in a French oak barrel. They've got the Boxer Grail, which is a cask, and all their Founders Edition are cask strength. Excuse me.
So those would be true unicorns,
Yeah,
if
for
you
Rabbit
find
Hole,
those.
yes.
Because Rabbit Hole is actually pretty abundant in North Carolina.
Yeah. The 4 series, the series that we're doing, but I have never seen any of the Founders series.
No, me neither. I mean, that's why
I would love to have a bottle of that to sit with the other 4.
Right. It's always nice to dig deep into the bourbons that you like. If you dig deep into the history of the company and start reading up on what they have, you can start to develop a list of like unicorn bourbons to be on the lookout for.
Right.
Because when you get to an allocated release, you start seeing these bourbons, and I lock up. Like I don't know what should I buy.
What I've done sometimes is put it in my notes in my phone.
Yeah.
Because you always got your phone with you.
Right.
So if I come across one that I want to, possibly buy, if I find one, I'll put it in my notes.
Yeah.
In my phone. So, but yeah, then they've got another one that's called Race King, and it's a straight bourbon that's double chocolate malt. I was like, that sounds pretty good. And then, like I said,
chocolate,
the Mizunara is the one that's 15 years and then finished in a Japanese oak. So some interesting on their founder series. But you know, if we can find one, we'll do one. But I've never seen one, so we'll see if we can find one somewhere.
Have to be on the lookout for Founder Series.
Maybe, and they were very limited editions, so that
right.
it might might really be hard to find. They might all be gone by now.
$1,000+ bottles.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. No, I mean, I can see where it was a strong 3, low 4. That's kind of where I was with it.
I generally know a 4 when I drink it. For me, jumps right out at me that it's just that good.
Yeah.
That one didn't hit me that way, but it was an enjoyable bourbon. For the price range, to me, 60 is in the middle.
Yeah, Like I said,
so
when we started this excursion, we were calling anything above 50 was a high price bourbon, but we got to raise that bar.
It's changed.
Because all the bourbons that we typically like are in the $40 to $60, $70 range. I mean, of course, we really like some that are in the 80.
Right, 80
some Jefferson's Ocean.
Of course, then you still got BT hovering down in the low 30s.
Yeah.
Cooper's Craft in the low 30s. I did see a Cooper's Craft, a $60 Cooper's Craft this weekend.
Well, and even I think even their entry level, they raised the price on it.
Yeah,
Last time I looked, I think it's up to 40 now. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you can't even Maker's Mark that used to be $30. It's creeping up closer to 40.
Right.
So yeah, we got to kind of shift what we consider
inflation's hit the
exactly.
bourbon mark.
So what we can because we're not going to buy a bourbon that costs less than $30.
Not typically.
So
Not typically. I'm not a Jim Beam guy.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm not
Evan Williams.
Well, the bottled in bond's pretty good.
Right, but
Jack Daniels.
yeah.
I mean, that's just not. That's not our journey anymore.
No.
So.
Now that's for the friend that you were mentioning earlier that wants to come
That's
and pour it
right.
on Coke.
That's right.
Yeah, I got just the bourbon for you.
Yeah, we do. It's called Smoke Wagon.
Yeah.
What? No, that's good. No. I'm sorry, Smoke Wagon. Smoke Wagon's good. That's what's a campfire bourbon? What's that?
Oh, old camp.
Old goat. No, goat.
Oh, the goat.
Goat. Yeah.
No, I was talking about the Jim Beam or Jack Daniels. You threw me with the Smoke Wagon. I'm like, whoa, time out. No.
Don't throw Smoke Wagon under the bus.
No way.
Although it's a little overrated.
It was a little
price.
disappointing
On the economic side.
Well, yeah, because it was hard to find, and then it was just kind of like, it's good, but it didn't just blow you away like some of these old Foresters or a Willet or even a Chicken Cock. So yeah.
Yeah, your collection's growing, man.
Yeah, it is. I had to add a couple more shelves in here. I'll probably throw a TikTok up showing the new addition to the
you need to
the collection here.
The barrel
Yeah.
shelves look good.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbit Hole collection down there looks really good.
Yep.
You Willet and some Blantons.
Yep. Some BT and
Willet was taking a pounding at the when I was in line for the allocated release a couple weeks ago. Guys I was standing, man, they
didn't like it?
No, they don't like Willet. Pot still. So might have to revisit the Willet.
Their loss.
That's true.
Now I tell you, I don't like the Willet Rye, but
Well, you don't like much.
no,
rye
but yeah,
anyway.
but Willet Rye. Man. So anyway,
All right.
I think that about wraps it up.
Another.
Good job. Yeah, like I said, we'll do the high rye version, which is called they each have a different name. This one's the Cavehill. The high rye is called the High Gold. So we'll do that one next week and see what we think of that. I have a feeling I'm not gonna like it as much as this one.
I have a feeling one of us will like it more than the
I think
other.
I'm gonna like it on the front end, but then when that pepper hits me on the back end, I think that's where I'm gonna be a little not so much. About like that.
Man, that stuff is harsh.
All right. Well, till next week. We'll see you. Cheers.